Hello and welcome to Mathematics Made Easier channel. This is your favorite mathematics tutor, Comfort Amuakon Ata. I welcome you all to my class this minute. If today is the very first time of you joining my class, a special welcome goes to you. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please look down there and click on the subscribe button to subscribe. Then you also click on the notification bell to be the first to be updated whenever I upload a new tutorial. Good job. Okay, so now let's take a quick review on what we did in our previous lesson. So in our previous lesson, we learned on integers. And I believe you guys can remember everything that we learned, right? So we learned about the introduction of integers, that is what integers are. Then we looked at non-integers too. We looked at some examples of integers and how to graph numbers on a number line, or how to graph integers on the number line. We cited so many examples on how to relate integers to our everyday life activities. And I believe you guys did a very good job by being able to answer the questions I left in my slides. All right, so now today we are going to continue by looking at how to compare and order integers. So how do you compare and order integers? Now pick your jotters as you come along with me for today's class. All right, so now we look at comparing and ordering of integers. And I believe you guys can see my screen. Let me make sure you can see my screen. Okay, there you go. All right, so now we have the slides, and I'm going to teach you. I'm taking this from the curriculum 6NS 8.2, that is comparing and ordering of integers. The learning target is students will be able to compare and order integers. What is your I can statement? I can order a set of integers from the least to the greatest. What are our key vocabularies in this lesson? So we have our key vocabularies to be positive numbers, negative numbers, opposites, and integers. So these are our key vocabularies. So we are going to take our time to go through everything. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to compare and order integers from the least to the greatest. Okay. So let's move on. As usual, we have our do now activities, which I have my expectations for you, the levels I feel you should go in my class, and the duration at which the do now should take. So these are do now activities. Quickly take a look at it before we continue. So one, a whale is at the surface of the ocean to breathe. What is a whale's elevation? So there are some key words that should inform you of whatever you are doing. Don't forget that we are relating this to integers. So when it says surface of the water, it means that it is at the sea level, which is 0. So it can also be 0 feet, right? So the first answer can be 0 feet. So you can say 0 feet. Okay, the second one is the whale swims down 300 feet to feed. So swims down means it is what at a negative, right? It swims down down the ocean means from 0, it's moved down. So it means negative 300 feet. Then the whale swim down 150 more feet, right? What is the whale's elevation now? So 150 more means it got to 300 feet down, then it went deeper again, 150 more. So it means you are adding 150 to 300, but it is still down, which is 450, because 300 plus 150 will give you 450. But since it is still down, it becomes negative 450 feet. Sorry. Plot each of the 3 elevations as a point on a vertical number line. So if you are to plot this on a vertical number line, it means we are getting our number line, vertical number line. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay. So first, locate your 0 or your sea level or the surface of the water, which is your 0. Then you can give your intervals to be negative 150 or intervals to 150, right? Okay, so let me use hold on. All right, so negative 150. Okay, we move to the next one. The next one, interval. If we are having an interval of 150, it means that our next one will be what? Negative 300. Negative 300. Oh. Our next one will be negative 450. Negative 450. Okay, so now we have to plot each of these 3 elevations on a number line. So I pick my pointer. Then this becomes my sea level, which is the 0. Let me change the color. All right, let's pick black. This becomes the sea level, which is a 0 feet. Then went down 300 feet, negative 300, and went down 150 more, becoming negative 450. So this is our number line representing the 3 elevations. Good job, guys. If you're able to do this, then it means you're on track. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. All right, so this is the introduction again. Let's remind ourselves of this. We have the number line. To the right are positive values, to the left are negative values. And as it moves from the right to the left, it decreases based on the scale. So it is not always +1 - 1. For this scale, we had 1, 1 intervals. But if you have scale of 5 units, it means it will decrease 5, 5, 5 intervals, right? So as you move from the right to the left, it decreases. And the further it is from the 0, the lesser the number. Okay, you know this because I've gone through this video in my previous lesson. All right, so this is a redo activity, which again, I've given my expectations and the duration at which is going to take us. All right, so this is the redo activity. You have to order the integers from the least to the greatest. How do you know the least number? How do you know the greatest number? So I first of all draw my number line. Okay. Then I identify this point on the number line. So let's number it first. Yeah, the 0, Oh God, okay. So we are numbering the number line. 1, 2. We're not going to go far because our numbers, the largest on the, or the highest number on the, at the positive section should be 1, 3. So you have 1. We have, oh, sorry. Okay, so let's go. 1. We have 2. We have 3. Then we can add a fourth number. That's all. All right. Then we come to our negative sections. To the left, we have the negative sections, which we have -1 because we have 1 intervals. -1, -2, and we can obviously end on -4. God, this 2 is not good at all. All right, oops. Let's correct ourselves. Oh God. Okay. Let me redo this. Okay, all right. So you have -2. You have -3. All right, so you can easily identify the points on it, right? So from this, we have -2 to be first. So we identify -2 on the number line. We identify -2 on the number line first. So you get -2 over here. Then we have -3 second. We have -3 here. Then we have 3 third number. We have 3 here. Then we have 1 fourth number. We have 4 here, sorry, 1 here. The last number is what, -1, right? That is -1 over here. All right, so doing this, we can now order them. And the further it is away from 0, the lesser the number. And we are ordering them from the least number to the greatest number. So the least number on our number lines is what? -3. So -3 is first. That is the least number, followed by -2, followed by -1, -1, followed by 1, followed by 3. All right, guys, so that is how to number, order them from the least number to the greatest. So if you draw the number line and identify the points on the number line, you will be able to see which number comes first on the number line, because the further it is away from 0, the lesser the number. Okay, so now let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, guys, we move to the next slide. So you should be able to do this with so many examples. You can give yourself some examples and you should be able to order them. All right, so now we have a problem. Let's solve this problem together. We have so many cities over here, and these cities, we have their temperatures being recorded. So 1, which city has the coldest recorded temperature? How would you find out? 1, identify the temperatures. Oh, sorry, guys. So you need to identify the temperatures on the number line, right? So the first one we have here, we have Greensboro to be -8, and we have -8 on the number line over here. Good. Then we have Raleigh as -9. Then we plot that on the number line. And we have Charlotte as -5. We plot that on the number line. All right. We have, okay, Fayetteville to be -1. We have over here, then we'll maintain to be what? 0. Oh, sorry. into clean. That's -1, not -2. Yeah, so always make sure you plot the correct point in the number line to maintain to be 0. All right, so now we want to find out which city recorded the coldest. Don't forget that the deeper it goes, the colder it becomes. The deeper it goes, the colder it becomes. Looking at our number line, Raleigh has what? -9, temperature of -9 degrees Fahrenheit. So it means that Raleigh has the coldest, recorded the coldest temperature, right? That is so simple. And has a -Fahrenheit temperature ever been recorded in real maintain? No, because it was recorded to be 0 and we don't have a negative nor positive 0. So the answer is no. The answer is no. All right, guys. Let's go on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. So you guys, from this, you should be able to solve so many examples on integers. So that is what you did. That is what we just did. All right, so we have some events over here too. And there's an aeroplane going to take off, but before the aeroplane took off, some events was recorded. So we have to draw this, or we have to identify these events on a number line. So how do we do that? I'll give that to you as your homework. Now identify where the lift off will be. Don't forget that the lift off will be 0 on a number line. And if it is before the lift off, that will be the negative values. After the lift off will be positive values. So use that as a clue to answer these questions. All right, so that's the number line. Then you identify the lift off to be 0. Before the lift off will be negative values. After the lift off will be positive values. All right, so if you're able to do this, then you got it right. If you're able to identify the events in the number line as this, then you're on the right track. Okay, so let's remind ourselves again. Hold on, I'm coming. So let's take a quick review on our learning targets. I can order a set of integers from the least to the greatest. So you should be able to identify other integers from the least to the greatest number. All right. I do have some videos here, but I don't think it's to play because in my previous tutorial, the video wasn't able to play it. So I'm not going to waste our time to play. Maybe you can contact me and I'll share the link with you. All right, now let's say I'll do now is a temperature of -11 degrees warmer or colder than the temperature of -15 degrees. Don't forget that the deeper it goes, the colder it becomes. So what do you think this is going to be? -15 degrees will be colder than -11 degrees. So -11 degrees will be more warmer than -15 degrees. Is an elevation of -10 feet closer or further from the surface of the ocean than the elevation of -8 feet. So -10 feet will be more deeper or further away from 0. Don't forget that the surface of the ocean is 0. It was 8 degrees at 9. The temperature dropped 10 degrees by midnight. What was the temperature by midnight? 8 degrees by night. It dropped again. So 8 degrees at midfall, and it dropped. It went down. It went down. A driver is 25 feet below. 25 feet below, -25, because on the sea level is 0. Always know your sea level. After he jumps up 15 feet, what is his elevation? So 25 below, and he counts all the way up to 15, and you get your answer. All right, so this is what you can do this. You have to complete these statements using the less than, greater than sign, or the equal to sign. So a 0 less or greater than -4. Obviously, 0 is greater than -4 because -4 is further away from 0. Is -8 greater or less than -7? -8 is lesser than -7 because -8 is further away from 0. The further the number is away from 0, the lesser its value becomes. So we use this to summarize the lesson. So in summary, we can say that on a number line, to the right are positive values, to the left are negative values. And as it moves from the right to the left, it decreases. Then also, the further the number is away from 0, the lesser it becomes. And the surface of the sea level becomes 0. Start off, kick off, lift off. So know where your 0 becomes. 0 starts from. Then you can know your negative values before the 0, positive values after the 0. So you can take your time and go through all these things in individual practice. So I'll leave this for you as your homework. You can do that and submit it at the comment section for me to review for you. Let's order these integers from the least to the greatest, okay? Then as you tell me this, A and B are negative integers, compare A and B. If they are negative integers, it means B is more closer to the 0, right? And so A is lesser than B because A is further away from 0. In the question, it said A and B are both negative values. So if you are to compare this, negative 5 is lesser than positive 5. You are going to use a less than sign to show your answer, to compare this. So if you finish early, you can do this for me. You order them from the least to the greatest. All right, so guys, these are exit tickets. Explain how to determine which of two integers is greater. Explain. I want it in writing. Write it and explain. Explain it to me how you're going to determine which of the two integers is greater. So you tell me how you're feeling in the comment section, whether I need to go over this lesson or you give me a smile that you got this and you can teach this to your colleagues. Smart. Good job and see you soon. All right, so thank you so much for your time and attention. I believe this tutorial was helpful. If it was, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down there. And do not also forget to share this link to your friends and colleagues. Till we meet again, please stay safe and learn hard. Bye. Love you all.